explain again also, it's not a problem. Okay. Okay. I think, yeah. The next one we have is the Jabua experiment. That also is a communication project. So Jabua experiment, this is also a communication project. Similarly, like how SITE and CADA were there, this is also a communication project. This also, for this also, they use the satellite communication methods to educate the rural population. And for this, this was mainly done in, this project was mainly in a rural area called Jabua, which is in the state of Madhya Pradesh. You can see here, I'm pointing out, it is mainly, this project was done in an area called as Jabua, a rural area called as Jabua, which was in the state of Madhya Pradesh. Now, when we talk about this area is situated in a valley, actually. Okay, and the most of this Jabua district area, 85% of the population were tribal people. That is what they have identified. 85.
Sorry, madam. The screen is not visible, madam.
Okay. Okay, 1 second, sir. I'll just try to share. Is it visible now, sir?
No, madam, just some.
You are not able to see the document, Word document?
You are able to see, but unable to read.
Okay. I'll try to increase. Is it okay now?
Yes.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah. So coming to this Jabua communication project, this was mainly in this rural area of Jabua in Madhya Pradesh, and this was during the mid-1990s. Okay, this was during the mid-1990s. Now, coming to this Jabua, why did they select this area? Is this Jabua rural area is a tribal area. It was situated in a hilly area. It is there, and that means you can expect, okay, the valley areas there. And here they identified that 85% of the population were tribal people. Okay, and in that, many of them, the literacy rate is very, very less here. 15% is the literacy rate. Okay, so they were very, very primitive in their occupation. That is, they were using agriculture. Now, agriculture also not the, at least the better, whatever the new things are there, not even that, they were primitive. That is the very, very old style of farming methods, what are there. Okay, the ancestral style of farming methods, what are there, that is what they were using. Okay, and their productivity was very, very low. They were not able to get proper productivity because they were using the primitive methods. Infant mortality rate was very, very high. Okay, wherein a large number of children were dying. This was not just because of their superstitious beliefs. Okay, child, believes that, you can't have a girl child. These are all superstitious beliefs. But the other side, even medical facilities were not proper. There were no transportation and communication facilities. It was a pure tribal area, almost away from the rest of the state. Okay, a very, very pathetic condition with very poor section of population, infant mortality. People had no knowledge of the external world. Now, during 1990s means you can expect India in 1990s was far more better compared to the previous years. In 1990s, we had privatization, we had new companies coming up, new technology oriented things which came up, industries came up. 1990s, we were at a better stage. Okay, but in that time also, this Jabua population, tribal population, they were struggling very hard. Okay, so that is when the government of India, along with the state government, they took up this communication project to educate these people. Okay, only these Jabua people, they were only their target population. They wanted to educate them, and for this they used the development and education communication unit of the Space Application Center in Ahmedabad. Now, for this, support was given by the development and educational unit. Okay, it's a department of the Space Application Center, which was in Ahmedabad. They are the people who helped in the transmission of the programs and all. Space technology technical support they provided, and through that Doordarshan and the other through that almost Doordarshan took up the program production, wherein they set up satellite dishes, they put up TV sets, VCRs were there by that time. So VCRs were set up, whatever technical support is needed, everything was funded, everything was given by the governments, and it was also provided funding from some external organizations also. And almost they had 12 talkback terminals also. That means wherein people could talk back instantly, like you like how you talk in a call, similarly the talkback system was provided, wherein you could talk to the when phone in calls or any phone in shows were happening, or any group discussions or something was expert advice was going on. If you provide them talkback terminals, they can talk, they can again immediately give their feedback, give their questions and all these things. So that facility also was provided by them. Okay, the Ahmedabad studio and the development education communication unit, they are the people who were involved in the production process of this entire Jabua experiment. So this was mainly an evening television experiment, wherein evening broadcasts were there. So that means programs were there in the evening, and they had programs related to health, education, agriculture, forestry, whatever are the local problems, whatever are the local issues where people should have a knowledge, those were taken into consideration, and those programs related to that only were decided. Okay, then the programs of this project are made with active participation of the local people. As I told you, it had a talk back. They were interactive sessions. It's not only one way. Okay, interactive sessions were done so that people also will give their own opinions, their ideas, and that's how CAIDA communication project became very, very successful, as many people, they were made to sit and hear to the programs, watch the programs, again give their talkbacks. This discussion method and interactive method, it helped the people a lot, and CAIDA communication project proved to be very, very successful. Okay, so the programs were mainly focusing on, as I told you, mainly focusing on enhancing the quality of life of people, how they have to be with environment and all these things, and successfully it was it ran very successfully. Okay, so any doubt with the Jabua experiment?
No, madam.
Okay, yeah. So the next next thing that we have is the of course DD Kisan. I think many of you all know about it. How do you all know that DD Kisan channel is there? We have a 24-hour channel. Okay, now identifying the need of we have so many television channels and all these things are there, and identifying that agriculture is far more important. The government, Doordarshan, has its own 24/7 television channel, which was launched in 26th May 2015, which is called as DD Kisan. Now this DD Kisan also mainly is applicable for rural communication, because they have programs related to farming, water conservation, organic farming, and also education for the farmers. Okay, agriculture education, regular education programs. So DD Kisan is a channel which focuses on the agriculture population in the rural areas. So it's also a form of rural communication. Then next we have is Krishi Darshan. Now, Did you all hear to Krishi Darshan anytime, or did you all watch Krishi Darshan anytime? Yes?
No, madam.
Okay, okay. So Krishi Darshan is one of the longest television programs of Doordarshan, that is DD National, and it is mainly the agriculture. It's mainly an agriculture program. Along with that, they also have some other issues which are related to the rural areas. Mainly, it focuses on agriculture. After that, few more areas related to the rural sector, like cottage industries, micro industries. Then we also have things like healthcare, sanitation, then credit facilities, all these things which are related to rural areas. Okay, those are a part of this program. Now this is usually a half an hour program, 30-minute program, which talks about all rural development issues, and farmers can send in their questions to them. They will answer to it. That also is there. Like in Krishi Darshan, there are phone-in programs, letter programs are there. You write a letter to them, or phone-in program you can call. You can always take opinions from the experts. So Krishi Darshan is a DD national program started in 1967. It focuses mostly on agriculture and rural development issues. Okay, clear? Next. Are you clear here?
Yes, madam.
Okay, so let us move on to how radio has been helping in rural communication. Now, when we talking about traditional media, and when we are talking about interpersonal communication for rural communication, radio also is one of the strong mediums for rural communication. Compared to even the television sector, radio even today, I don't know how many of you all listen to All India Radio. All India Radio, even today, they have not the regular private FM bands, but All India Radio, even today, they are focusing on agriculture programs, programs related to rural masses. Even today, they have. And of course, because they have so many, transmission is there in so many dialects and all, in for All India Radio, languages and dialects, they have transmission. Because of that, for rural areas, it's very, very useful, because affordability is less. Okay, I mean, when you talk about radio device is very, very less costlier. You can have it on your phone also. Free radio device will be available on your phone. If not that, but still its cost is less. So it's easy for them to get communication through radio. So coming to radio, let us move on to the slide. Just a second. So yeah. So when we are talking about radio for rural communication, coming to before we go to All India Radio and all, we have this concept called community radio. How many of you all are aware of community radio, or you all heard community radio anytime? This concept of community radio? Yes, community radio.
Yes, madam. It is the limited radius.
Yes, sir.
People ఐదారు విలేజ్లు కలిసి ప్రోగ్రామ్ చేసుకుని ఆ విలేజ్లలో జరిగే వాటిని సాయంత్రం పూట వాళ్ళు కూర్చొని చేసుకుని మాట్లాడుకుంటుంటారు, ప్రోగ్రామ్స్ చేస్తుంటారు.
Yes, 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 sir. So correct.
Even
So
in universities also.
yeah, universities, colleges lo kuda we find community radios. So community radio, when we are talking about rural communication, community radio's contribution to rural communication, it's a large extent than even because imagine when we see many we have NGOs, we have certain autonomous bodies, we have many people who are coming up, public trusts who are coming up with this community radio concept, and government also started providing more licenses for this community radios, more and more community radios. So community radio, for those who have no idea, it is mainly a people's venture, as one of us, sir, has shared. It's a people's venture wherein uh, people of few villages come together, 3 or 4 villages, 5 or 6 villages. Okay, these people come together. Now they design a radio. Okay, and they design the program. They only are the people who plan the programs. They only think, transmit the programs, everything, technical, transmission, everything, and they only are the audience also. People in the villages are the audience. So what do they do? So it's a totally a people's venture. Okay, and it's not compared like the mainstream media like FM band or All India Radio, but still for rural communication, these people, community radios are very, very successfully running. Mainly community radios are all non-profit radios. Okay, and there is a rule also, community radio regulations are there. If you are establishing a community radio, you are not supposed to plan for profit orientation, like going for ads, and all these things are not allowed on community radio. That is why it's still continuing with that non-profit motive, and whoever starts it, they work out also with for that only, wherein their main aim is to find out the local problems what are there, make the people only involved in that. People themselves are involved in planning of the program, designing of the programs, transmission of the programs. So that's you can call it as a participatory communication. Have you all heard this term participatory communication earlier? Yes, sir.
Bhagaswamyam.
Bhagaswam, participatory communication, wherein people also are involved in the communication process. Okay, so community radio is a part of, you can call it as a participatory communication, wherein they themselves are designing. Okay, you have NGOs, autonomous bodies, organizations who are supporting them. Okay, they provide few basic things, but though people who are the main planners of the programs, who are transmitting, who are also giving their voices and all these things, everything the local people do it. Okay, so it's proved to be one of the attractive forms of communication. As to encourage more and more community radios, license fees have been cut down, commercials are restricted. Then we also have from organizations like UNESCO and all also who support this community radio. Okay, so I've given you a few examples of community radios which are working out in some rural areas. Radio Ujas, which is in Gujarat, then Deccan Development Society. I hope many of you all might have heard this Deccan Development Society. Have you all heard?
Yes, madam. It is in Medak district.
Yes, Zahirabad, sir.
Yeah, Zahirabad.
Yes. Yes, correct. So yes, they are actually the Deccan Development Society, DDS. They have really proven very well in their community, especially in their rural communication methods. Community, they have their own community radio station. Of course, they have their own documentary production. Everything is done by the local people, the local rural people who are doing it, and through that they try to explain their problems, their issues. They try to communicate about how what are the government schemes, government welfare measures, and these are again represented to the government also, like a team. They are working together. So that also is, they are really successful, because Deccan Development Society, if you take as a case study, if you take really wherever they are working out, throughout that They have been influential in explaining the other villages also, in trying to educate them, inform them. And I think 3 or 4 years back, DDS society people, they were invited to receive the Equator Award, which was given in the International Environment Conference with UNO and all this, where we had our presidents and prime ministers of topmost countries in New York. Okay, so that time even they received, because they were very, very successful in communicating throughout those all villages who are connected with this DADS society. Through their community radio, they explain them what are their problems, issues, how they can go up with their production in agriculture and all. And they are also selling their products. They also have their outlets to sell their products. So that's one benefit of having this community radios. Through rural, you can explain the other rural masses and help them. Then like that, there are a few examples like Kalanjiam in Bangalore, Radio Alakal in Trivandrum, then Mahavali community radios in Sri Lanka, and Radio Sagar Mata in Nepal. All these are community radios working for rural communication, explaining the rural masses, informing them, educating them about what are the scientific measures, what are the new techniques, what are the, how you have to take healthcare and all these things. Okay, next.
Sangam radio.
Yes, sir. Sangam radio also is.
Sangam radio is maintained by only women.
Yes, Sangam radio is maintained only by women. I think it is the name of the Deccan Development Society Community Radio.
Yes.
It is the name of their community radio, sir. Yeah. Sangam radio. It's maintained totally by the rural women. If we have time in, maybe you can see, even if I am not able to show you all, there are short films, documentaries done on this how they are managing their community radio. Please do watch on YouTube. They are there. It's very, you can understand how powerful rural communication is going on through this community radio platforms. Okay, now the next part is not just the community radio, even the regular radio, the All India radio or the FM radios, not much, but All India radio from the time it started. Okay, prior to independence, when we had All India radio, today what we have All India radio, they are continuously they are in that process of informing, educating the rural areas. And one benefit is radio has a larger reach, that. Okay, and the recent statistics, they say that almost 98% of India's geographical area is covered with All India radio network. Do you all have that idea? Maybe you might have had in your radio subject. Okay, almost 98% of our geographical area, right from north to south, east to west, majority of our geographical area, we have All India radio network, one of the largest radio networks in the world. They have, of course, external radio transmissions also, but when I'm talking about here within India, they have 98% they are covering. And because of that, as they are very easy to get a radio set, even for the government to establish a radio station or to transmit. See, television can't reach all areas. Okay, establishing television set also, or the television production network also is very, very difficult and costlier. Some areas it's not possible, valleys and all. It's very highly difficult to have there. Such areas, the best source of communication is radio. And radio, they have, even today they have agriculture and farming programs. As I told you, Krishi Darshan, which is there in Doordarshan, which is continuing from 60s, 70s till now. Even today, if you switch on to Doordarshan, you open the Doordarshan website, see the timing of Krishi Darshan, it is there. And Krishi Darshan in Doordarshan, I think I forgot to tell you, it's not just in Hindi. Regional Doordarshans we have. We have Telugu Doordarshan, Tamil Doordarshan, we have Kannada Doordarshan. Even in those languages also, Krishi Doordarshan is translated and relayed. The program is relayed. Okay, even in Kashmiri Doordarshan also, it is relayed in their local language. So same way, when you come to All India Radio also, they have transmission in different languages in India. Okay, so they are concentrating on all the different languages. They have agriculture, farming program, women and child care programs, nutrition programs, all these mainly with the aim of the rural population. See, agriculture, farming, women, child care, school education, these are not much required for the urban areas. They have other sources through which they can get their information. These are mainly for the rural areas. So even today, the All India Radio has been designing programs in these respective fields, especially for the rural areas, talking about village development schemes which are there, health schemes which are there, programs which are there, then all government related measures, all these things through radio. The rural population are receiving information. Then radio rural forums. Okay, these are one successful radio projects by the government of India and UNESCO, wherein Charcha mandals were established in 1959. That is, it's based on a Canadian farm project. Okay, Charcha mandals means around 12,000. Like how we had Site and Keda, those were community TV sets. Here, community radio sets were established, and people were made to sit around, sit near those radio sets, and when the radio programs were relayed, they were supposed to sit and discuss. They used to take inputs from those radio, whatever programs have come. Then Charcha mandals, people used to sit together, discuss among them, bring out new ideas, new concepts, or anything they wanted to tell the government. All these things were discussed in the Charcha mandals, and whatever was the output of Charcha mandals, that was sent to the government of India, and they started looking back into it, what were the issues, how they can help them, and all these things. So radio rural forums, which were done in 1959 in India. This was based on a Canadian farm project. Okay. Then the next one, of course, community radio, we just spoke about it. Then, so as I told you, from 1966, we have farm and home broadcast. We have home and family broadcast. We have, then we have Kisan Vani channel in All India Radio also. Like how we have DD Kisan 24/7 channel, which is broadcast by Doordarshan. Here, even Kisan Vani channel is there by All India Radio. It started in 2004. Okay, and here Ministry of Agriculture, they take care of it. Mainly, it focuses on agriculture development. Okay, mainly agriculture development in the rural areas. It focuses on that. It's a radio channel by All India Radio. Okay, you get updates related to weather, latest technology that you can use for agriculture, expert suggestions, phone in and talk shows. All these things are part of, what are the seeds, what you have to do. All these things are the programs based on which they are relayed in Kisan Vani. Okay, and every 15th February, this Kisan Divas is observed by, the government, and during that time, Kisan Vani, they bring out a few, special programs. They take up the experiences of some successful farmers, some rural women, rural people, and try to share it on Kisan Vani channel, so that more and more people get motivated with that. Okay, so this is also one benefit of, radio for rural awareness or rural communication. Then, of course, they talk to them about environment, ecological protection, forestry, land degradation, because in rural areas, we have this forest and land degradation problems, okay, wherein forests are cut down, how to utilize land, many of the how to maintain the fertility of land. These issues are there in many of the rural areas. So that also is provided through this, through All India Radio. Then, of course, we have family planning awareness campaigns which are done. Then Swachh Bharat campaign which was done. Then similarly, Swachh Bharat campaign which was done. Then similarly, of course, Man Ki Baat, that you can take it into development communication. For rural communication, you can use this, okay. All these programs which are telecast to All India Radio, they are for rural communication, okay. So this is how radio has been utilized. Now, I would like to hear how many of y'all, okay, how many of y'all have anytime experienced, radio or any mass media how they are utilized for rural communication from your side, your experiences. Yes. Have you all heard to such kind of programs, or you might be hearing from your friends or anyone how rural communication is happening, and what are powerful, and how, if they're using radio, how they're using radio. Anyone would like to share? Yes, none of you here to radio programs?
All are listening, madam. Everybody is listening and
yes, sir. Yes, sir. More than I'm talking about than FM bands. I'm talking about this other programs which are telecast on All India Radio. FM bands are very popular. Okay, so how, you see, you might be having an experience of how rural communication happens. Maybe you might have heard from some other people. See, now whatever I am teaching is one part, but through sharing of your experiences or what you have heard also, we will also know it. Okay, because I don't want to have this class only like one-sided. If you all can share. Only I think one person has been sharing his experiences, or he has been responding. The others, if you can respond, if you're in a position to respond, if you can share about rural communication. Yes, I am just looking at your syllabus. Okay. Yes, no one? No idea? Okay. So far, I would like to brief you all few topics that I have covered. I have covered from few different units. Okay, because they are interrelated, I have covered from different units. Now, if I say from because yesterday also some of them wanted a clarity, so I'm just mentioning it. From unit 1, I have just given you the introduction of what is rural communication, and in that we have completed interpersonal communication. Okay, interpersonal communication we have done, and next in second unit, second unit I didn't touch anything. Third, so now this comes into coming to unit 5, rural communication and participation. In that you have folk and conventional media, radio in rural communication. You have, I think you all have your syllabus. Okay, so if you have your syllabus in unit 5, you see you have folk and conventional media, radio in rural communication. So folk in sir, you wanted to say something?
I asked, madam, study material not received, madam. Study material not supplied.
Yes, sir. Study material, even I have to receive. I think they are editing it. Sir told that they will be sharing it. I am reading out from the syllabus. I hope you have the syllabus.
Yes, madam.
The word copy. So I'm just briefing you all what topics. See, once you get your study material, I know you will also have a clarity, like what I have been teaching you all. So just I'm telling you all overview what I have touched in unit 5. I have completed with you all, the folk media in rural communication. Yesterday we have done that. Then radio in rural communication. Today we have done it. Okay. Then when you are talking, when they ask you about radio in rural communication, it's not just radio means All India Radio. You can talk about community radio also. That is why I explained, though community radio is projected like a different thing, but still the device, the medium is same. Radio only it is. Okay. So you talk about the regular All India Radio. Similarly, even the community radio. So we have spoken about it here. Then we have gone to yesterday in unit 7, block 4, unit 7, we have completed health communication. Yesterday we have completed it, health communication. Then today I gave you a briefing about how ICTs are used for rural communication. But still, I will in the next class, maybe, I can teach you all ICTs, how we use for governance. It has been given ICT and rural governance. Okay. See, ICTs and rural governance today, farmers are having, digital platforms wherein they can register, your land can be registered. You can get your, what you call 24/7 feedback. Online technologies are there, which are supporting, online apps are there, which are designed and which are supporting the rural communication. So I will give you all a brief of that also in the next class. So ICTs that I'll be telling, I just gave you a brief of ICT. I didn't give you the whole part. Then we went to Unit 8. In Unit 8, I completed for you all traditional media, which is also there in the previous one. Okay. So role of traditional media, mass media in rural communication is what we completed. Then in Unit 12, I've completed for you all site and KEDA communication projects. Then Krishi Darshan I have completed for you all. Jabua experiment I have completed. Then I am left with Bharat Nirman Public Information Campaign and Chatra by Deccan Development Society. Those two are left in this unit. But I have completed site, KEDA, Jabua, Krishi Darshan. So these are the topics, because I also have to receive the material. So based on the reference materials, I have taken it from all the different other materials which are there. So I've given you. Maybe you will have slide from when you get your material, you can write it from there only. It's not that you have to take exactly, but all the basic ideas are the same. Whatever I have mentioned to you all, the basic concepts are the same. See, rural communication, traditional media, folk media, how you use it for rural communication, you take from any source, the basic information is the same. Okay. So any doubts, any clarifications from your side? Any clarifications, or you would like to share something from your side? Yes, sir.
Radio project
ఏది సార్, దేని మీద సార్?
కమ్యూనిటీ రేడియో పైన.
yes sir, కమ్యూనిటీ రేడియో మీద చేయొచ్చు మీరు. మీరు నిన్న రీసెర్చ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ గురించి అడిగారు కదా, కమ్యూనిటీ రేడియో ఇస్ అ వెరీ గుడ్ టాపిక్ సార్ ఫర్ రీసెర్చ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్.
Tomorrow is the last date to register, madam.
You can take community radio, sir. And if you want online lo మీరు ఒకసారి చూస్తే కమ్యూనిటీ రేడియో డెక్కన్ డెవలప్మెంట్ సొసైటీ సంగం రేడియో మీద రీసెర్చ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ చేసిన వాళ్ళు చాలా మంది ఉన్నారు. సో యూ క్యాన్ టేక్ వాటి నుంచి కొంచెం మీరు ఇది తీసుకోవచ్చు, లైక్ ఇన్పుట్ తీసుకోవచ్చు. కమ్యూనిటీ రేడియో అంటే మీరు దాని బ్రీఫింగ్ కమ్యూనిటీ రేడియో ఇచ్చి మీరు మొత్తం అన్ని తీసుకోకుండా ఒక్క ఎగ్జాంపుల్ తీసుకోండి సార్. దట్ విల్ బి మోర్ ఈజీ ఫర్ యూ టు గ్యాదర్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్. ఎందుకంటే మీరు అన్ని కమ్యూనిటీ రేడియోస్ తీసుకున్నారంటే అది చాలా హెవీ అయిపోద్ది. మీకు అన్నిటి నుంచి డేటా తీసుకురావడం, మీరు సర్వే చేసి ఫీల్డ్ సర్వే చేయాలి, క్వశ్చనర్స్ తీసుకోవాలి అంటే చాలా పెద్దది అయిపోద్ది మీకు. సో మీరు కమ్యూనిటీ రేడియో మీద, అండ్ there are many people who have done community radio and rural communication. ఇప్పుడు మీకున్న టాపిక్ ఏదైతే ఉందో అదే టాపిక్ మీద చాలా మంది చేశారు రీసెర్చ్ ప్రాజెక్ట్, అండ్ దట్స్ వన్ వెరీ గుడ్ టాపిక్. ఇఫ్ యూ సీ అసలు మీ సిలబస్ లో ఉన్న టాపిక్స్ లో there are many topics which you can use for research theme. And నేను చెప్పేదంటే anytime when you are doing research, please put it down to the micro level, to the lowest level ki తీసుకురండి. మేజర్ టాపిక్ తీసుకున్నారంటే అది చాలా, బికాజ్ ఇక్కడ మీరు ఇండివిజువల్ రీసెర్చ్ when you are doing for your masters or for education purpose, it's an individual research. మీరు ఆర్గనైజేషన్స్ కాదు కాబట్టి we have to do it like that. ఇప్పుడు వన్స్ ఒక ఆర్గనైజేషన్ లాగా వెళ్ళి మీరు రీసెర్చ్ చేస్తున్నారు అంటే అప్పుడు పెద్దది తీసుకోవచ్చు, నాట్ అ ప్రాబ్లం. ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే యూ కెన్ కట్ డౌన్. So any other clarifications or anything if I can want to share? I think next week also we have 2 classes because as per the timing that I have been given, 2 classes next week also you will have, Saturday and Sunday. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So maximum I'll try to complete whatever is there. See, if you see development communication and a subject which are, so development communication and rural communication, there is a lot of similarity. Development communication subject మీకు అయింది కదా, థర్డ్ సెమిస్టర్ లో ఉన్నట్టుంది మీకు. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So lot of similarity you will find rural communication ki, development communication ki, because this is a part of that subject only. Okay, for what are you doing rural communication is development of the rural areas. So finally it is a part of development communication subject, but specialization, because rural areas మీద focus చేయడానికి కోసం you have this separate subject. Okay, so any other doubts? Anyone else who wants any clarification? Okay, so if there's no clarification, then we can leave the class. So meer go relax avach. I think me timetable just said you have classes from morning. Okay, so
from 10 morning.
Yes, sir. I can understand. I was seeing your timetable. So yes, నేను కూడా ఇంతకు ముందు క్లాస్ వేరే క్లాస్ చెప్పే ఇటు వచ్చాను మీకు. So okay then, if there are no doubts or clarification, see you in the next week. Whatever we will complete whatever maximum topics what are there, we will complete. Okay.
Thank you, madam.
Okay, thank you everyone. Yeah.